Curtis and Susie live Friday night with Teed Up. Susie, what do you have to say to the people on tonight?
Well, you know what I always say: grab your bae, your boo, your sweet thing, and tell them it's time for Teed Up with Curtis and Susie on Friday nights.
Yes, my friend, come on in, everybody, wherever you are, in all around the globe, here in Houston, Texas, California, New York, or wherever you are. Get ready because we have a very interesting topic on tonight. I hope you lovebirds are ready to engage us on tonight. We want you to make sure you go to our
Go to our social media
there you go.
pages. We have Teed Up Marriage on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
It is on Instagram
Yes.
and Facebook, and we're also on Twitter. That's Teed Up Marriage. So go there,
Share.
like and share on our Facebook page, and then on YouTube, we want you to subscribe to our channel and then hit the notification bell so you receive notifications whenever we go live.
Absolutely.
What I want to say, make sure you go to our YouTube. We need to get our subscribers up. So I need everyone to go there tonight and subscribe.
Absolutely. Come on, friend. Help us to help you to serve our community in a greater way. We want to reach out and touch people not only locally but internationally. We want to touch them here in the States and all around the world. I believe we have something very positive to offer to married couples all around the world. Susan and I, we been married now. This month here will be our 35th year wedding anniversary.
Yes,
and God
August the 26th will be 35 years.
Absolutely. God have blessed us tremendously to we got married when we were in our teenage years, and we've been counseling young couples all throughout our relationship, and we want to help share our experience with you in your marriage. We not only we don't
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm fit to step and switch something.
we don't only serve you with our experiential piece, but we also a Christian marriage podcast where we give you not only from our experimental piece, but from a biblical perspective on marriage and what marriage is supposed to be and how marriage is supposed to look from God's standpoint. You have to remember that God is the architect of marriage. And so with that being said, who better to tell you what marriage is supposed to be and how marriage is supposed to function? But if you don't know how marriage is supposed to function, then you're going to miss the essence of what the intentions that's in the heart and the mind of God on marriage. So we want to really encourage those of you that are listening to us on tonight to come on aboard and let's have this discussion on marriage and what marriage is supposed to look like. Thank you, honey, for joining me again.
I am back.
So we want to encourage those of you that are listening to us on tonight. At the end of our podcast, we want to hear from you. We want to hear some of your questions, some of your thoughts on what we're going to be talking about on tonight, and some issues that you might be having in your relationship that we might be able to answer from a biblical perspective. We really want to impact our married couples on tonight. So come on in and share with us. Honey, what do you want to say to the people before we get started?
Again, I want you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe to our channels because, like I said, we need some more subscribers. So I want you to stop what you're doing and go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and then hit that bell so you get notifications when we go live.
Absolutely. So now, with that being said,
Well, tell the people what we're going to talk about on tonight.
Tonight we're going to be engaging you
In marriage
in
essentials.
the essentials of marriage. I want you to let that marinate just for a few moments. The essentials, those things that are necessary in order for you to be successful in your marriage.
Correct.
Listen, here in America, not only in America, all around the world, marriages are under the attack of the enemy, because you got to remember, anything that God is for, Satan is against, and he opposes the things of God. We believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, and we want to explore that thought
between a man and a woman.
Exactly, only. Between a man and a woman only. Just you don't have all these other add-ons. You don't get to you got to remember, we're not the architect of marriage. God is the one who created marriage, and so he is the one who is supposed to give us instructions on what marriage is and what marriage is not. So you can't go and recreate what God's original intent is. Go ahead, Donnie.
I was going to say, so with that being said, let us jump right in. Like my husband said, we're going to be talking about marriage essentials on tonight. And again, our anniversary is next Saturday. We would have married 35 years.
Wow, that is a blessing.
That's a long time nowadays. Now, I know some of you are saying, you look like you're 35. I know, thank you.
Some people haven't been married for 35 minutes and they already tired of each other.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of the essentials that we feel are necessary to have a long-lasting marriage on tonight. So with my husband, we have 4 kids, adult kids at that now, and then we have 4 grandchildren as well, and we have 1 on the way. And so I think out of that time, out of 35 years, we should know some of the essentials, if not all of them.
Exactly.
So, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead, darling.
So we're going to go ahead and jump right in before we begin, because tonight we also have our T.D.D.U.P in-house that starts at 8 o'clock. And some of you inquired about that. If you want more information, just inbox me, and I can tell you how to become a part of the T.D.D.U.P in-house that we have on Friday nights.
And we certainly want to invite you to come and be a part of the in-house, because this is where we, after we have our in-house, we have some fellowship afterwards. We have some food, and we just sit around and continue the conversation on marriage once we actually exit our podcast. So come on, we want this to grow into something very large and impactful. We don't just want to be here just us talking. We want to talk to you. We want to feel where you are. We want to help answer some questions about marriage and some of the things that you have had questions about over the years. We want to talk about those things. We want to see what God has to say, and also what people are experiencing in their relationship.
Right. And so, with T.D.D.U.P, our endeavor is to, build stronger kingdom marriage, to help the husband and the woman understand their roles and responsibility as kingdom couples, and we want our children to be raised in 2-parent homes.
Absolutely.
So that is our endeavor with T.D.D.U.P, with the T.D.D.U.P marriage coaching that we do. So again, if you're engaged or married, become a part of the T.D.D.U.P marriage coaching.
Absolutely.
It's here to help and strengthen your relationship and help you endure when you get through tough times. And I heard someone gave an example. I'm not a sports person, but I heard him use the example of football. When you're on a team, it takes a team, to
win a championship.
To win a championship. And so, when you get in a tough spot, you go run to your team page. Y'all get in a huddle and they talk about, okay, let's try this or let's try that. So that, it's kind of the same thing here. You get into a tough spot, they come together. Let's say, hey, I'm experiencing this here, and we give them some advice on, let's try this here, and get through the problems. Or some other couples may be experiencing the same thing.
Absolutely.
That helps.
Absolutely.
Strengthen the relationship. When there's someone else you can that encourage you, that you can depend on.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with some of the marriage essentials that we feel that will help
Aid
in marriage
you, yes.
and longevity. So the first one we're going to talk about is love.
Oh wow, that's a major one.
Yes, love is an intense, deep affection for someone. So you definitely want to love your spouse uh, when you're in a relationship, when you're married. That's important. You want to you meet their needs, regardless if they're meeting your needs or not. Or you may not receive something in return.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, so oftentimes when we don't, Susie, when we don't feel that we're getting all that our spouse or our should give us, then we have a tendency on holding back
Holding
as
back,
well. But I don't think that's the way that God would have us to engage our significant other. You know, sometimes when we don't get what we want, we tend to retaliate. And that's not good. That only escalates the problem. So when you're in a loving relationship, the Bible talks about how love covers a multitude of faults. So
Right.
when you really love someone, you begin to look beyond their faults and see that their needs. And so love is critical in a marriage. When we talk about love, there's multiple in when you talk about love
There's different type
in
of
just
love.
a regular type of love, not eros love is a type of love that is shared between a man and a woman. This is something that should be always given for each other,
Right.
from each other rather.
Yeah. And then our next essential is laughter. It's an expression of amusement. And you know the old saying, laughter is good for the soul, laughter is good for the relationship.
Absolutely.
You have to laugh together. And you know, that's what friends do. Friends get together and laugh. So that's laughter is very important, but you want to be friends first. You know, some
Absolutely.
people say that somebody else is their best friend. Your spouse, I feel, should be your best friend,
Absolutely.
who you share your secrets with, you travel with, and you know, special occasions or events that occur in your life, you share with your good friends.
Yeah.
So you know that should be your spouse. Of course, you have friends along the way, but your spouse should be your best friend.
Absolutely. So laughter, the Bible says laughter is like medicine. So when you get with your significant others, you should be able to, there should not always be tense and hostility. There should be shared amused. You should be amused by one another
Enjoying each
and
other.
enjoying one another. You should be able to laugh together.
Have fun together.
Exactly.
Joke around.
Exactly.
Watch some funny movies, you know, and laugh about it.
Absolutely. I certainly believe that both parties should be able to laugh with each other. You know, just share a joyous moment with each other. Laughter is good. Don't always be so serious about everything that you do in the relationship. Learn how to love
laugh.
and to laugh with each
Yes.
other. And I think that has helped us in our relationship to be able to laugh with each other and at each other. So, you know, don't be so uptight and so offended when somebody's laughing.
But you know, when you know how sometimes we joke, my husband and I, we've been, like I said, we've been together for 35 years. So sometimes we joke about each other's parents and stuff. But you know, and everybody can't do that. You know, but like, again, that comes with knowing your spouse.
Absolutely.
But then also you got to know too that your spouse doesn't have an ill intent. You know, we're just joking around. You know,
Right.
I love you and your parents. You know, it's not. We're just joking around. But that's just a place you have to get to in your relationship before you can get there, because you know you don't go talking about people, mama, they want to fight you.
Absolutely. You got to learn how to laugh. You got to learn how to enjoy each other.
Correct.
And as you begin to enjoy each other, then you'll begin to laugh together. And so these are some of the things that have helped aided my wife and I in longevity. We learn to laugh at each other. We learn to laugh with each other. And so those things are so important in your relationship.
Correct.
The next essential that we have is
The next one is spices, lust. You want that lust means to desire each other sexually. I want him to lust after me all the time. Wear something that men are turned on by sight. So you wear things that turn them on. Wear things that turn each other on. And, you know, put your smell good on.
absolutely.
Women like, I know for me, I like, you know, when a man smells good and dressed nicely, you know. I like that, and women like that. Just like men want their women to look a certain way, we want our men to look a certain way.
Absolutely, and that's how you keep the spice in the relationship. Like Susie said, men are turned on by sight, and so we don't want to look at you coming to bed with a bun on your head, and you got on your granny underwear and
Granny panties.
and your rollers in your head.
Throw the granny panties in the trash. You need to get you some lace.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Thongs, whatever he like.
Yeah.
You need to find out what he like. Whatever you like, that's what you need to be wearing to bed.
Right. Don't let someone else turn on your significant others. You're supposed to be satisfying their needs. You're supposed to be the one who keeps it spicy in the relationship.
Yeah, you want to do things to make him think about you when he at work. When he over there doing whatever he do at work, and then it cross his mind that thing you did to him the night before, and have him smiling, and they be like, man, what you thinking about? Only him and you know what's going on. But you got to do that move on him that make him be like thinking about you at work.
So your husband and the husband needs to keep it spicy, and the wife needs to keep it spicy.
Yes, for sure. And then the sexual fulfillment, that's very important. We have to be able to share what you like sexually, what positions you like, whatever it is you like that satisfy you. Want to share that with your spouse. Don't expect them to read your mind.
In other words, you're saying that they should tell their husband, and the wife should tell her husband, and the husband should tell his wife what they desire.
What they like. I like it when you touch me right here. I like it when you kiss me right here. Kiss me behind my neck, behind my ears. Kiss, whatever it is that you like, tell them. Or let's try this here position. I like this position. And don't be offended.
Absolutely.
When they tell you. I seen a show where the lady was telling the husband, or the husband was telling her he didn't like the kiss, and so she said, "Oh well, I just won't kiss him no more." And they went on for I think like 2 years, and it was really crazy. Not kissing me because she was offended because he said that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really strange. You want to know if you doing something that your spouse don't like. I would want to know. Wouldn't you want to know?
Absolutely. I mean, why would you get offended? It kind of reminded me of what I heard someone say once. It was someone's birthday, and then they said to the person whose birthday it was, well, we're going to get you what we want you to have, and if you don't like it, too bad. Well, what kind of attitude is that? You don't give people what you like. You give people what they like. And so that's critical in the relationship. You have to give the person what they desire in the relationship. Because you got to remember, the husband is supposed to please his wife, fulfill her desires, and the wife is supposed to fulfill the husband's desires in the relationship. So those things are critically important. And when a person is not being satisfied, Susie, then that's when they start looking in other places to get satisfaction or to be fulfilled in whatever desire that they're seeking after.
And not that makes it right. No. So you wanna keep him. You wanna give him so much sex that he can't be looking no other woman. He be cross-eyed when he leave out the house. He wanna be cross-eyed because you didn't put it on him so much he ain't even looking at no other woman.
Absolutely.
That's right. And then some role playing that you got to, because you wanted them to lust after you. We're talking about lust, so we can do some role playing that's going to keep it exciting. Get your little maid uniform and put it on for him, or doctor, nurse, or
put on that firefighter outfit that you used to have,
and let him come put out the fire.
Absolutely.
But you got to keep it spicy. You want your husband or wife, you want them to lust after you. That's who you should be lusting after.
In other words, they should desire you. You should want to be desired. You should want to go after your husband, and your husband come after you. Those things are so critical in the relationship. You got to keep the fire ablazing. Don't just let it be a smoldering fire, but let it be a blaze.
Yes.
And so
then you got to stay in shape.
Absolutely.
Just keep yourself in shape. Keep yourself fit. Big daddy.
You got to recognize you can't let yourself get out of shape and then expect your husband to still desire you. When you first got married, you was an 8. Now you're an 80. So we got to be very careful along those lines, because you create another problem where there be lack of desire. So you got to keep the fire.
Keep yourself in shape.
Absolutely.
Stay in shape. Keep yourself looking good. Don't figure like, oh, because I got her now, I can look any kind of way, or vice versa. I got him now, so I look. No, keep yourself looking up and smelling good. Keep your hair done. It's the same thing that you did to get her or him. Do those same things. Keep your hair done. Keep your well-groomed haircut, smelling good. Your clothes nice and clean. Do those same things, to stay in shape and stay fit.
Absolutely.
Because because you're the one. It's a one-stop shop, is what I always say. I'm his store, so whatever he needs, I should be providing. One-stop shop. He shouldn't have to go shop at another store to get what he needs. Whatever you need, honey, I got for you.
All right.
What you got to say, though?
Well, absolutely. Again, we have to make sure that we're fulfilling all of those areas in the relationship that's necessary to keep your significant other satisfied.
And then ask them what they like too.
Absolutely. You have to be very careful when it comes down to both sexual fulfillment and in every capacity in the relationship. You have to be able to fulfill the need of your significant other, because if you don't, throughout our marriage, we've seen wonderful young couples who at one point in their relationship it was thriving, but then something happened in their relationship, and consequently when I have a conversation, when we dive into a conversation after their relationship was dissolved, we come to find out that there was a lot of things that what happened is it all comes back to two things that we found out that cause relationships to dissolve. It's money and sex. These are the two things that are major in the relationship. And so when you don't engage in these areas, relationships tend to become
have problems.
Have a lot of problems. Absolutely.
So give them what they want. If he want a lap dance, give him a lap dance. Let him make it rain on you.
Absolutely.
Not at the strip club. Tell him you his strip club.
Absolutely.
Make him lust. We're talking about lust. You want him to lust after you.
You want
her to lust
you
after
want the
you.
man to desire the woman and the woman to desire the man. These things are critically important.
Of course. Then the next one is living. Don't just exist. Enjoy life together. Travel together. Be spontaneous and say, hey, honey, pack your bags. We're going out of town for the weekend. Be spontaneous. You got to enjoy.
In other words, keep it so interesting and keep the other one guessing. What's he going to do for me next? What is she going to do for me next? That's how the relationship, that's how you keep the spontaneousness and the fire in the relationship. You have to be unpredictable.
Right. You don't want to be like, okay, I already know I'm going to go to work, then come home at this time. We're gonna go to bed this time. We're gonna do it. No, you gotta keep it spicy. Do different things. Let them, surprise them. You may wigs are popular now.
Absolutely.
You may come home. He come home one day. I may be a blonde.
Absolutely. I might be.
They say blondes have more fun. Let's see what's going on.
I might be Spider-Man or Batman. Who knows?
But shoot your way, baby. Show me what you want to do.
You have to do something that's going to keep anticipation in the relationship. If I come home and every day it's going, I'm coming home, get something to eat, go to the kitchen, have a conversation, get in bed. No, that's not going to be a relationship that's going to be lasting. You have to keep it interesting.
Keep it interesting. Keep it spicy.
Absolutely.
When he come out the shower, surprise, and then tell him what it might have on.
Surprise.
What you see with your eyes.
All right, let's move on. We're trying to move. Go ahead. Honey.
I was going to go to the last one. Is living. Don't just exist. No, we just talked about that.
Yeah,
the last one, lean on Jesus. That's what
absolutely.
it is. Jesus can deal with your spouse like no other. If you have something going on in your relationship, and you kind of frustrated, begin to go to God and pray. Talk to God about it. And God has a way of getting to your spouse like You can't.
Absolutely. A lot of times what people have a tendency on doing, Sue, is this. They feel that they can change their spouse. Well, he was who he was when you married him. What you need to do is pray that God would change your heart to be able to help him, and not so much as God changed him in the sense of to conform to you. I don't
Well, I
want,
mean, it might, yeah, true.
I
But
don't.
sometimes it may be something that needs to be changed with him.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is that a lot of time we go into the relationship thinking that we can change people.
Oh no,
And that's not going to happen. You have to allow God to transform that individual. And then by you, Susie, I found out by you being the type of wife that you should be doing, your behavior and your conduct will cause him to respond to you in a different way, to where it will be a change for a better based upon how you treat him. He'll see the difference in you. The Bible says this right here, that a sanctified wife will sanctify the husband. In other words, based upon your behavior, the wife behavior will cause the husband to act in a certain way, and vice versa. The way the husband treats the wife will cause her to act in a certain way. So I think it's based upon both of your behavior that will ultimately cause the other party to react in such a way that is positive.
So yeah, when you go to God in prayer, then he come back and he be like, well, honey, I'm sorry for whatever it is, or vice versa. She'll come back, God, honey, I'm sorry, because God, you didn't pray, and God didn't touch their heart. That's when you have a kingdom woman or a kingdom man.
Absolutely.
And you go to God and pray, and then they come to you, honey, I'm sorry for whatever the situation is. That's what makes a difference. The Holy Spirit in them will be convicted, and they'll come and say, I'm sorry.
Absolutely. So, well, listen, my friend. We have had a wonderful time sharing with
hold
you.
on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You can't forget the most important one.
Okay.
Monthly check-ins.
Oh yes.
Let's
talk about that.
Check in with your spouse monthly. Just say, hey, honey, how you doing? How your day was? And is anything bothering you that we want to talk about? Just check in monthly. Just to see how their mental capacity is.
In other words,
they get busy, with work and with kids and church and all that, and just forget about. Unintentionally, may just kind of forget. So just say, hey, how you doing? Get in the habit of doing that once a month.
In other words, what you're saying, at some point in the month, you should communicate your spouse or your significant other's feelings, how they feel.
I don't want to. We don't. I mean, when I say check in, I don't want to. Now we're not talking about bills and how are you doing
personally.
How are you doing, Curtis? How are you doing, Susie? Not the kids, not the bills.
Right.
Nothing. How are you doing?
Absolutely. I think that's critical for you to know the mindset of your significant other, your wife or your husband. You should know where they are mentally.
Yes.
How can you aid them to become even better in the relationship?
Right. So that is our last marriage essential. And again, like I said, these are my husband and I. We've been married for 35 years, and we believe those are some essentials of marriage. And then I'm gonna highlight them again, what they were, and like I said, love, laughter, lust, living, and lean on Jesus, and then the monthly check-ins. Those are some essentials if you want to have a lasting marriage.
Absolutely.
And like my husband said before, if you think about it, when you hear about someone breaking up on TV, or if it's somebody it has something to do with sex or money, just think about it. Anytime you see something on the news, somebody that when their relationship breakup, it has to do with one of those two things. So you want to make sure that you're sexing each other up and communicating about the finances, so that won't be your end.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So did you want to say anything before we close out for our in-house?
Well, what I do want to say is this right here. If you have any questions concerning anything that we said here on tonight, you can go to our website.
Yes, our website is imageministrieshtx.com, and it's a tab there to click. It says contact us. Click that, and then you can put in there your question, comment, or whatever it is, and we will get back to you. And then also, on our Facebook page. You can, on this live right now, if you want to have a question or a comment, put it in the comment section there, and we will come back and answer your question.
We might
as well.
not answer it live tonight, but what you can do, you can follow up on our page. If you put a question there, we'll put the answer. We'll post your question, and then we'll answer your question there, and you can hear our thoughts at that time.
So again, before we close out, go to our YouTube page. It's T.D.D.U.P Marriage on YouTube. On Facebook, it's T.D.D.U.P HTX. On Instagram, it's T.D.D.U.P HTX. So we want you to go to all of those social media platforms and show us some love. Like and share, subscribe, and then YouTube, hit that notification bell so when we go live, we want to see you there.
Absolutely. We certainly want to try to impact you to some degree or another. Well, listen, our time is far spent, and we want to get ready to sign off. But what we want to do, we want to tell you to live and love. Don't let life cause you to be frustrated. We're here for you. We're looking forward to seeing you here on next
Friday.
Next Friday for another session with Curtis and Susie.
Teed-Up on Friday nights.
All right.
We're trying to get that ending.
Yeah, well, we'll see you on next time. God bless you is our prayer. We'll see